feathers to catch a beau, I suppose. Although if you'd asked me, she'd do better with a heavy veil. I told her ribbons down her back is what we'll be wearing this summer if we want to catch a gentleman's eye, but she had none of it. Chairs and feathers she wants on today of all days, when poor dear sweet Mrs. Malloy has had enough on her mind. What with what, Minnie? Oh, the door. It's stuck. It's stuck. Then push. I could bite my tongue out with all the things that I've said and all the things I'm going to say, but as long as I've gone this far, might as well go all the way. Well, why? Say it, Minnie. Why have I decided to marry Horace Van de Gelder? Oh, Mrs. Malloy, I didn't ask you that. I'd rather die on the rack than ask you such a personal question. But as long as you did bring it up, I am marrying Horace Van de Gelder for one reason and one reason alone, Minnie. To get away from the millinery business. I hate hats. Mrs. Malloy! And I can no longer stand being suspected of being a wicked woman with nothing to show for it. Mrs. Malloy! Don't protest, Minnie. All millineresses are suspected of being wicked women. That's why I can't go into restaurants or balls or theaters. That's all the proof they need. Take my word for it, Minnie. Either I marry Horace Van de Gelder or I break out of this place like a fire engine. Oh no, not Miss Mortimer again. Yes, Miss Mortimer. But don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. No, Minnie, leave it be. You can make another hat for Miss Mortimer if you like. I'll be wearing this one myself. Oh, but Mrs. Malloy, you can't. You're a widow in that hat. Well, it's provocative, that's what it is. Is it, Minnie? Well, who knows who may walk into the shop today, and provocative may be just what I want to be. Mrs. Malloy. I'm about to ask, but do you love Horace Van de Gelder? No, Minnie, I don't. Peter Malloy, God rest him, was my share of love, and I'm not saying I was shortchanged. Once is enough for a woman, as long as it's true love, and it was that. Look, Minnie, there's 2 men staring at the shop. Men? Why, I do believe they need to come in here. Mrs. Malloy! Men? In the shop? Oh, what shall we do? Do? Why, flirt with them, of course. I'll give you the short one. And all that talk about love. Love enough I've had, Minnie. It's a bit of adventure I could do with now. We'll get them all heated up and then drop them cold. It'll be good practice for married life. Now you go back into the burger. I know a few ways we can perk up our appearances. Besides, a bit of a wait will only make them more nervous and easier for us to... If you say vamp, I'll scream vamp. And so, I'll try to make it easier to find me in the stillness of July, because a breeze might stir a rainbow behind me that might happen to catch the gentleman's eye. Oh, Minnie, we'll get an adventure out of this yet.
We'll get an adventure out of this yet, Barnaby. All day long we wander around New York and nothing happens. And then we come to the quietest street in the city and suddenly...
Van der Gelder!
He's still there. Go look.
He's sitting right on that bench, Cornelius. Are you sure this is an adventure?
You don't have to ask, Barnaby. You'll know it when you're in one, all right. Whew. Now, how much money do we have left?
Well, not much. 40 cents for dinner, 30 cents for the train back, and 20 cents to see the whale. 90 cents, why?
Well, when those women come in, we're gonna have to pretend like we're customers. Customers, that's it. Maybe the best thing to do is make them think we're rich. We're just 2 men about town looking for some hats for ladies. Good afternoon, missus. Here, Cornelius Hackle.
Here, Barnaby Tucker.
My pleasure, gentlemen. Now, what can I do for you?
Well, you see, we're just 2 ladies hat town looking for some hats to Malloy, and we want to buy a hat. For a lady, of course, and everybody says to come to Miss Malloy because she's so pretty. I mean, her hats are so pretty.
And so reasonable, Cornelius. As reasonable as under $1 would leave us enough to see the whale.
You have to pay him no mind, ma'am. We've come all the way from Yonkers to see the stuffed whale, and he's a bit excited. Keep an eye on that street, Barnaby, and maybe you'll see it pass by.
Is it big and black with little red eyes?
Yes.
It's sitting right on that bench.
Excuse me, Mr. Apple, but did you say Yonkers?
Why, yes, ma'am, Yonkers, and forgive me for saying this, ma'am, but you should see Yonkers. By that, I mean perhaps Mr. Malloy would like to see Yonkers as well.
Oh, I'm a widow, Mr. Hackle.
You are? Barnaby, she's a widow! That's too bad. I'm sure Mr. Malloy would have enjoyed Yonkers, especially in that hat. On you, of course, not Mr. Malloy. May he rest in peace. You're Catholic, aren't you? Well, don't let that bother you because I'd be willing to change. Mrs. Malloy, if you should ever happen to have a Sunday free in the near future, I'd be more than willing to show you Yonkers from top to bottom.
Well, actually, Mr. Hackle, I might be in Yonkers sooner than you think.
Oh, really?
Well, you see, I have a friend who lives in Yonkers.
Do you?
Perhaps you know him.
Perhaps we do.
Oh, it's always so foolish to ask in cases like that, isn't it? It's Mr. Van de Gelder.
Van de Gelder?
Van der Gelder's hay and feed.
Do you know him?
No!
Mr. Van de Gelder's a substantial man and well-liked, they tell me.
A lovely man. Just lovely. Only one fault as far as I know. He's as hard as nails.
Cornelius, I think.
Now, I wonder if you can get this one.
No! Begging your pardon, Mr. Malloy.
Gentlemen, Jonathan, what are you doing?
Help us, Miss Malloy. I'll explain later.
Come out of here this minute.
We're citizens.
Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, I insist that you come out of here this minute, or I'll force Mr. Vandegelder.
Mrs. Malloy, I don't suppose Mrs. Levi is in here, is she? She was supposed to meet me on that park bench 10 minutes ago. Well, I suppose if she comes, she can just go looking for me. When I make appointments, I prefer for people to be on time. Oh, I brought you a present. Chocolate-covered peanuts. Unshelled. That's the expensive kind. Did I just see you talking to two men?
Men? Oh, men, Mr. Vandegelder. Whatever would men be doing in a lady's hat shop? Well, now why don't you come back into my workroom? I'm so anxious for you to see it.
I saw it last week.
So you did. Well, Mr. Vandegelder, what's new in the hay and feed business? I understand you have 3 friends, all as hard as nails. I mean...
What on earth are you talking about?
Yonkers. I hear it's a very beautiful city.
And who's been telling you about Yonkers, may I ask?
Nobody. A friend.
What friend?
Well, you see, he...
He?
A customer, Mr. Vandegelder. Someone quite well-to-do, as a matter of fact. He was in here buying hats for ladies. You might even know him, although it's usually foolish to ask in cases like that. It's a Mr. Cornelius Hackle.
Did you just say Hackle?
Why, yes.
He just happens to be my head clerk. Mrs. Malloy, I demand an explanation.
And I'm going to give it to you. Why shouldn't you know Cornelius Hackle? Everybody in New York knows Cornelius Hackle. He's here at the opera, in all the fashionable homes. Why, he's at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant 3 times a week.
That's impossible. He's only got $146.35, and I keep it in my own safe.
Oh, Mr. Vandegelder, you're killing me. He's one of the Hackles. They built the canal.
What canal?
The Intermall.
It ain't the same man.
Who took the horses out of Jenny Lynn's carriage and pulled her through the streets? Cornelius Hackle. And who dressed up as a waiter at the 5th Avenue Hotel and dropped an oyster down Mrs. Esther's? Oh, I can't say it, but it was Cornelius. He's the playboy of New York. Now, Irene, don't tonight. I could see you were taken with him just like everybody else.
Oh, Dolly, what are you saying? I've only seen him once in my life. Really, Dolly, Excuse me. Of course.
Now see here, there's a man in that closet.
No, Mr. Vandegelder, you can't. It's too dangerous.
No men that hide in ladies' closets can frighten me, Miss Levi. Now stand aside.
No man indeed, Mr. Vandegelder. I'm sure you'd make short work of any man. Those muscles! I can see them now rippling under your shirt. Ripple, 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 back and forth. Ripple, ripple, ripple.
For the last time, Mrs. Levi, will you stand aside?
Stand indeed, Mr. Vandegelder. That's exactly what the court wants to know when you're accused of entering that closet without a search warrant. I mean, what do you stand for if you don't stand for the law of this great land? I know what I stand for. I stand for brotherhood, America, and the heart movement. Take off your hat, sir, let's cross his pride is passing through. You see, all the guns, leave that bridge on the floor. You see, as I strictly call the gates of wrath, seven march, march, march.
Has this not affected you, sir? I came to this and another under that table.
What the devil?
And there also happens to be a very simple explanation. But for the present, good afternoon.
Good Lord, the whole room's crawling with men. I'll never get over it. I take it I'll see you again this afternoon, Mr. Randy Gelder.
You certainly will, with a certain young lady on the main float at the end of the parade. Good day, Mrs. Malloy.
And
Mrs. Malloy, I can explain everything.
I do not wish to hear any explanations, Mr. Hackle. Just you and Mr. Tucker do me the pleasure of leaving my shop at once, or I'll send for Officer Goggerty.
oh, now, if you ask me, Irene, calling officers is letting them off too easy. The law courts, that's where they belong. I've been adding up the legal offenses these two have committed, and well, believe me, you've got the grounds for at least 2 writs, a non-compos mentis, and a garnishee. Now, the first thing to do is to show that you try to settle it amicably first. Have dinner with them.
Dinner?
Is that absolutely necessary, Dolly?
It's the way things are done in the law, Irene. Dinner first, garnishee afterwards.
Well, if it must be. Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, you may take Miss Fay and myself to dinner.
Delighted, Miss Malloy. And I speak for Barnaby, too. I hear there's a nice restaurant in the railroad station.
Oh no, Mr. Hackle. If the Harmonia Gardens is good enough for you and your fashionable friends, it's good enough for us. I hear they have a lovely orchestra there, Minnie.
We couldn't go there, Miss Malloy. It isn't the money or anything.
It's the whale.
It's the whale. No, this isn't the whale, Barnaby. It's the dancing. You see, they have dancing in a place like that, dance contest, and I don't know how. It would take me months, weeks, even years to learn. And I just can't. Mrs. Dolly Levi, 33-year-old chief clerk's taught how to dance.
Now it's simple. You put one arm here and one arm here.
Oh, I absolutely have no sense of rhythm.
Absolutely no sense of rhythm is one of the primary requirements for learning by the Gallagher Levi method. Just give me 5 minutes of your time, Mr. Hackle, and I'll have you dancing in the streets. We'll start with lesson 7, the waltz kick turn. Now it's simple. Right foot touch, left foot touch, under, back, around, touch. Out, over, around, behind. Out, over, release, unfurl. Oh, that's wonderful when I think of the lucky woman who will find heaven in your arms. Let's go back to lesson 1. Put your hand on her waist and stand with her right in your left hand. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Look! I'm dancing! Oh, well, I was.
Of course you were, Mr. Hackle. Take someone who's not your hold on to her tight and spin. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
we'll be late to the Harmonia Gardens.
Oh, we couldn't do that, Miss Malloy. It isn't the money or anything. It's just that nowadays really elegant people never take cabs.
Hacks is out.
They all go by streetcar.
J.T. Vanderbilt, a Diamond Jim Morgan.
Then by all means, a streetcar. Imagine, just think I've been elegant all my life and never knew it.
Now, if you really want to be elegant,
We do.
you walk. Yes, New York, it's really a smarty and Cornelius.
All the guests of Mr. Hackle are feeling great and look spectacular.
What a knack there is to that acting like a born aristocrat. We got elegance if you wait, got elegance you can never ever carry it off. All who are well read agree anything has pedigree.
Exercise your wildest whims tonight. We are out with dynamics tonight. Quickly be enslaving us.
Silver spoons were used for feeding us. We got elegance if you wait. Got elegance you can never ever carry it off. Middle class, don't speak of itself often. We reek of it, some were born with brags and patches, but we use dollar bills for matches and
Edward Quilts, now pass to us.
JP Morgan screams and houses. We got elegance, we were born with elegance. Have you noticed when I hold my cup, the saucer never moves?
That the way I keep my baby up, and you can tell me
We got elegance, we got built in elegance and with elegance. We'll carry it on. Got elegance if you wait. Got elegance you can never ever carry it off. We got elegance. We got elegance.
Oh, look, Minnie. They're counting their money again. Isn't that just like the rich? Now, gentlemen, aren't you going to escort us in?
Why, certainly, Miss Malloy. Barnaby. Miss Malloy, as we go inside,
Yes, Mr. Hackle?
can I put my arm around your waist?
Yes, Mr. Hackle. But I might as well warn you, a corset is a corset.
You've heard, Miss Levi, it's the only way to show you're hungry in business. Now, can you make a little faster? You're throwing me off a step.
Wait a second. That man. That dancer.
Isn't he wonderful? With talent like that, he's sure to win this solid gold medal.
Come on, Miss Malloy. It's been a perfectly wonderful evening, but I'm afraid we're about to have to make it short.
Polka! Cornelius, I simply must have one dance.
But Vandergelder's over there. We
Vandegeller. I can explain everything.
I don't want to hear any of your explanations. You're fired!
Officer! Arrest that man!
All right. You're all under it.
Arrest them all!
All of you.
That's better. Now, you're all charged with disturbing the peace, assault and battery, inciting to riot, and several other serious violations of the law of this city. Now, is there anyone here to speak in your behalf? I say, is there anyone here to speak in your behalf? Dolly Levi, counselor at law.
Your Honor, the defense rests. No! There is no need to call witness, ladies and gentlemen. When I see upon that bench, brow that gleams with honor, and a nose, I ask you to look at that nose, ladies and gentlemen. Nose that shines in the night like a flaming beacon of justice. Would you turn this way, but Your Honor, so we can get a better look at your beacon? A living symbol of this great land, E Probuscus Unum. Your Honor, I ask for freedom of my clients. For the only real culprit here, Horace Vandegeller of Yonkers, New York.
Die!
The only man responsible for these grievous charges of private property.
A torn curtain, a bruised waiter, and a solid gold cup bent.
Cruelty to a poor unfortunate minor. Would you mind repeating that here?
Mrs. Levi, if you will please the court, I have something to say.
I was just about to call on you, Mr. Hackle. Go right ahead.
Well,
Cornelius Hackle, if you dare testify against me, you'll be discharged.
you've already done that, Mr. Vandegeller.
I'll do it again.
And also, but if you hadn't, I'd still say what I have to say. Well, now, I don't know anything about disturbing the peace or inciting to riot, but what I do know is that the most important thing that can ever happen to a man happened to me today. And that might never have happened if I would have obeyed your orders and stayed in Yonkers, New York. Your Honor, I'm talking about none other than love.
What? You mean to say that after 33 years you fall in love because you take one evening off?
No, Mr. Vandegeller, I didn't fall in love with Miss Malloy in just an evening. An hour? What's less than a minute?
A second.
No, less than that.
A moment.
That's it. I'll go slowly so you can write it all down. It only takes a moment for your eyes to meet, and then your heart knows in a moment you will never be alone again. I held her for an instant, but my arms felt sure and strong. It only takes a moment to be loved all life long. Isn't the world just full of wonderful things? There I sat cooped up in Yonkers for years and years, all the while wonderful people like Miss Malloy were walking around, and I didn't know them at all. I can tell you right now, a fine woman is the greatest work of God on earth. You can talk all you like about Niagara Falls and the pyramids. They aren't in it at all. Of course, I've seen women before, but today I talked to one, equal to equal, and they're so different from men and awfully mysterious too. I bet you could know a woman for 100 years and never be really sure if she liked you or not. Today, I've lost so many things. My job, my future, and everything that people think to be is important, but I don't care. Even if I have to dig ditches for the rest of my life, I'll be a ditch digger who once had a wonderful day.
Excuse me, Mr. Hackle, but I seem to have missed a few words back there. Right after it only. Take some moment.
All except Horace Vanderbilt. You're all free, my children, and bless you. Go, go.
What? Oh, so it's you, is it, Mr. Hackle? Come crawling back, have you?
No, Mr. Vanderbilt. I just stopped by to get my $145.35. And I've been thinking, and I think I want to go into business for myself. And since the only business I know is the hay and feed business, well, I'm opening up my own store.
And Cornelius has found the perfect location, Mr. Van de Gelder. Right across the street from you.
So, think you can compete with Vanderdelters, do you? Well, just you try. What? Oh, another one come crawling, is it? What do you want?
My back salary for the past 4 months. $6.12.
You can't do this to me, any of you. Oh, go to the courts. Oh, get lawyers.
Horace Van de Gelder, I live and breathe. You aren't handsome in that outfit. So if you men nowadays have the curse word tails in the middle of the day.
Dolly Gallagher.
I know exactly what you're going to say, Horace. You're not satisfied with this. Well, I have another girl for you, the ideal wife. But don't let me interrupt you. You were doing something. What were you doing?
Getting Cornelius's money, Dolly. $146.35.
Plus $6.12 of mine.
And the money my mama left me. $52.48.
38.
48.
All right, if it's the money you want, the safe is in the back room.
Hello, Dolly, well, hello, Dolly, it's so nice to have you here where you belong. I never knew, Dolly, without
wonderful woman.